Hi, I'm Andrea Graves, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And we want to thank you for tuning in to our Retirement Education Center Tuesday Tips. We created our Tuesday Tips in order to provide you with quick, simple ideas to help you reach your retirement goals. For additional concepts on how to maximize your retirement income, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos.
Hi, my name is Carson Graves, President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center, and I want to welcome you once again to our Tuesday Tips, where today we are going to be talking about overspending addiction. Now, of course, this probably couldn't come at a better time because it's right after the holidays, and I'm sure many of us are going to be opening up some of our credit card bills and other bills that we've created for ourselves, and we're going to start to have maybe some regret. Now, this happens every single year for millions of Americans who do not have the discipline of how to stop their overspending habits. And no one is perfect. I myself have spent money at times where I maybe shouldn't have. But I do have some tips that help keep me grounded so I don't continue to make that mistake. And that is what I want to do today. I want to share with you 4 simple tips that I would like for you to implement if you suffer from overspending addiction, so stay locked in. Now, the first thing that I want to give you as a tip when it comes to overspending is to be honest with yourself. Yes, you do have to look in the mirror and say that you have a problem. And we, of course, know that the truth definitely hurts. We probably all have seen the movie A Few Good Men. We heard Jack Nicholson, scream out the phrase that we all still use today, "You can't handle the truth," because the truth really can hurt. You have to actually see some of the ugly things about yourself that you may not like, but it is the first step that you're going to have to utilize in order to stop your overspending habits. But once you actually have faced the truth, the next thing that I want you to know is that you don't need to beat yourself up. We all have fallen short and no one is perfect. As I mentioned, I myself have in the past spent money on things that I probably shouldn't have. But the one thing that you have to make note of is that you don't want to stay here. We don't want to stay in the imperfect state. We want to continue to build to the next step. And because you are honest, it will allow you to move on to step number 2, or tip number 2 that I want to give you. And tip number 2 is, once you have become honest with yourself, you absolutely have to identify the why. If you can identify the why, it's going to help prevent you from committing the same mistakes over and over again. So you have to ask yourself, why did you actually get caught up into overspending? Was it because you were so excited about the holidays? That you want to buy for everyone? That you want to buy too much for your kids, for your loved ones, your friends, or your family, or your co-workers, whomever it may be? Are you just too caught up with the holiday spending? A lot of people do get caught up in the holiday spending, and it can really be an issue and cause you to have great regret later on. A lot of people are overspending because they eat out too much, and so you have to figure out your why there. Eating out is a major cause of many people, having a crunch in their budget. Is it that you don't have the time to cook? Maybe you don't like cooking, but if you can figure out your why here, perhaps it will allow you to really reduce your spending on eating out and allow you to maybe start having better meal prep, or understanding how you can actually buy more groceries for yourself as opposed to eating out on those expensive meals on a daily basis, for sure. Or like many people, did you get carried away on some vacation, some extravagant vacation that you like to take every single year? And everyone, I absolutely understand the issue here. We see things on social media. We see our neighbors and friends doing certain things, and it causes us to have some sort of maybe envy or jealous of those folks, and we start to try to emulate them. But you should not do that. You have to make sure that you do not get carried away on spending too much money on vacations. I literally know people who are still paying off a past vacation while they're actually planning for a new vacation now. That is absolutely a inverse of what you want to do. You got to get that under control. And there's nothing wrong with taking a vacation. Perhaps you skip one now in order to get that under control, or take a staycation to minimize the amount of money that you're spending so you can eventually get your budget back in order, and then you can still continue to enjoy your vacations. But now, because you understand your why and why your overspending addiction is getting out of control, you can have more fun on that vacation because you're not overspending. Now, my third tip that I want to give you is that you have to create a plan. We always talk about creating a plan. Why? Because a plan is going to prevent you from spending the money that you don't have, but more importantly, it's going to prevent you from spending the money that you do have. How many of us have actually gone into a department store? Never meant to buy anything, but we were just window shopping. But because we absolutely had the money to spend on it and we liked it, we went ahead and got it anyway. When you have a plan, this can prevent you from doing that. Now, in saying that, when you create a plan, it has to be realistic or you will not stick to it. You can't just say, I'm going to never go shopping again. You can't say, I'm never going to go on a vacation again. Creating a plan for your spending habits is just like, when going on a crash diet or a fad diet. Your body is not going to be able to withstand that fad diet, and eventually it's going to fail, just like your plan for spending would as well. So create a realistic budget. Take really small baby steps in order to get yourself into a position to where you can become free of your addiction. But if you don't have it set realistic in the beginning, you're destined to fail on your spending plan. Now, within your spending plan, one of the things that I would certainly recommend is that you're going to really want to take a look at your credit card budget. You're going to want to take a look at this situation here and not pay the minimum payment. You need to create within your plan a way to pay more than the minimum payment. If your credit card company is telling you to pay $75, you might want to pay $100. Perhaps you want to attack the credit card with the highest interest rate. Maybe you want to attack the credit card with the highest balance. There's no right or wrong way other than paying the minimum payment on that credit card. So make sure you don't do that. Another thing that I think will be critical for you when you're creating a plan for your spending addiction is to create automated savings for yourself. This does a couple of things. One, it gives you an opportunity to automatically create a savings cushion for yourself for a rainy day for things that you might need. But secondly, it takes more money out of your pocket so you don't have that money to spend on things you don't need. So make sure that when you're looking at your plan for your spending habits, that you make sure that your payments are going to be automatically going into an account that you cannot just easily get your hands on. And the last tip that I want to give you under creating a plan for your spending is to maybe wait before making a purchase that you did not plan for. Now, this goes back to my ideals about eating. Sometimes we want to go back for seconds, right? But if you wait 20 minutes, they say, your body may have told you that you are full and you really don't need those second helpings. Well, it's the same for your spending habits as well. If you go into a store and you think, oh, I got to have this, how about you wait before you make that purchase? Because once you get it home, you may not even have any room for it, or you may not even like it, or better yet, you may have something just like it in the closet already. So if you would just wait before making that purchase, it could save you some money in the long run and stop you from actually having that spending addiction that you have. And the last tip that I want to give you to maybe stop your spending addiction is to find ways to create more money. A lot of times we're spending things on the credit card because we just don't have the cash or the money in our pocketbooks in order to pay for said items. Now, if you know that you have a spending problem and you always are going to appreciate the finer things in life, then finding a way to create more money is going to be the best bet for you. Now, one of the ways you can create more money for yourself is just to stop spending money on things you don't need, right? That would be a helpful thing for you to do. Stop spending money on things that you don't need. From there, if you need to create more money for yourself, maybe you can sell some things online. Perhaps you can have a yard sale. Maybe you can sell some of those things that you bought and figure out that you don't need, and you can sell them to someone else. Start a side hustle. Do some things, drive for Uber, start a hobby that you love. Maybe you charge money for that hobby and start making a little extra money on the side. Try to cut expenses from your budget. Look at all of those subscriptions that you have that you're paying for from Netflix and so forth and other things. Maybe if you can look and identify some of these subscriptions that you might not even be utilizing anymore, you can go ahead and create more money for yourself. Maybe you can create a meal plan. You know, if you're eating out too much, create a meal plan. Maybe you decide that you're only going to eat out on the weekends, or maybe you're going to eat out only on Wednesdays. You're going to have that cup of coffee on Fridays. But go ahead and create a solid meal plan for yourself that's going to reduce the spending that you're currently doing right now. Another thing that I would recommend is that you leave your credit cards at home and maybe carry cash. It is a lot harder to take that cash out of our wallets and see that $100, $200 being spent on an item versus just looking at a plastic card and just having them swipe it. So make sure that if you're really trying to, create more money for yourself, leave the plastic at home, carry more cash. And the last little tip under creating more money that I want to leave you with is that you might want to remove your credit card or your debit card from many of the online sites out there. I know we all shop on Amazon. We all shop on maybe eBay and various other websites that we're going to be shopping on. Now, if you do not have a spending addiction, this very well is a great convenience. But if you do have a spending addiction, it's too easy for you to log into Amazon, look at what you want, and just click send it to my home. So you have to maybe think about making it harder for yourself to do that. So think about removing that credit card or debit card from those sites, and perhaps you can create more money for yourself. So I really do hope today's Tuesday tips will help you get your spending addiction under control. Please know that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you are in need of a fiduciary advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in our description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today. And if you found this information beneficial, please remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share with others.